Hello again, Michael Ware with Warrior Wednesday here through the Iowa Firearms Coalition. We've never had this many people on at once, so this is kind of exciting. Bear with us as we find our way through it. We have the Baxter. It's in Iowa. The Baxter Shooting Sports Club. They're here with us tonight. So I'd like to introduce some people and go around the room here for a second. We've got Coach Billy Iverson. Hello. Say hello.
Hello.
We've got J.R. Hammer and his son Brandon. JR is a coach. Brandon comes back to coaching from having been a recent student and done this not that many years ago. Hello, fellas. We've got Trevor, also known as Trev Dog.
Howdy. Hello.
Say hello, Trevor.
Hello.
When you see him in the halls, if you go, bark, bark, he loves that stuff. It's his favorite thing. Olivia, do you say bark, bark when you see him?
No.
You should. You should. Okay, so we've got Olivia Boyke with us. I pronounced your last name right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Caitlin, what's your last name?
Where?
Do I know you?
I think so.
Okay, you look like my kid. That'll work fine. All right, so I want to have these guys on because let me be very honest with everybody as we start here. I didn't know much about these aspects of shooting. Yes, admittedly, in full disclosure, I do own a custom shop. I'm around all kinds of firearms all the time, build lots of guns and then tune them for competitors of all shapes and sizes. But as far as my personal experience with any kind of scholastic shooting, it wasn't really anything I was familiar with, and I didn't anticipate this. I've got a dear friend, Nathan Gibson, who is a coach for I-35 and his daughters have placed very well, done very well in SCTP over the years. And I knew that he was really passionate about it, really loved it, but I really didn't understand why until I got here myself. So it's my first year as a parent, seeing this and having the kids come to the range and shoot right here near me. And it's been one heck of a lot of fun. So with that said, and learning all these new things, I would like to have people. Let's start with the coaches. What was your view, coaches? Billy, I'll ask you first. What was your view of these programs and this aspect of shooting before you started?
I really didn't have much view before I got into it. It hadn't started when I was in school, and then not until my daughter was finally of age she wanted to join the trap team. She quickly decided she was still far too small to be swinging a shotgun. And that's when head coach JR approached me about starting the pistol rifle side of things. Went through the coaching course and got my daughter into that because she was already a pretty talented little 22 shooter. But yeah, I had no competition experience until kind of jumping in head first, really.
Okay, well, that brings up an obvious question. Had you coached anything like this before?
No, I hadn't done any coaching.
Okay, so what? This is a trick question, and it's okay no matter how you answer it. But what made you believe that you were qualified to do it?
With this in particular, I hadn't done it affiliated with a sport or anything, but I've got a quite long list of, friends and nephews and stuff. And I'd kind of always been the fun uncle with the guns to come out and really enjoyed getting youth started in shooting. I got quite a few young kids that I got to teach for the first time. And so this is just kind of growing on that. And I really enjoy it.
Okay. Well, I asked those things specifically because the truth of the matter is, I run across a lot of people who are interested in this, but they immediately hit the brakes, guys. And you're doing something that you didn't hit the brakes on, but they have. And I say that to put across the idea. There's some initial interest, and then whether they're the student competitors, whether they're the parents who are helping with the program, or their kids, or whether it's potential coaches, they're like, well, I really don't know how to do that. And the kids are like, well, I don't know how to shoot that. Or the parents are like, I don't know if my kid will be into that. How much does it cost? Or the coaches, potential coaches say, well, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I'm qualified. And I think the answer to that, which I'm going to ask JR and Brandon to help me with, is I think that you are qualified in most ways. If you're a responsible adult, I think that you can get there. Would you agree with that statement, JR? Oh, maybe his screen froze. I can't see. I don't see him moving.
You bleeped.
Well, okay, Billy, why don't you take that one while they work out their tech difficulty there?
Hey, Michael.
Yeah, go ahead. There we go. Well, if you can, I don't think I'm not hearing you very well. If you need to hop out and rejoin, you can do that if you want to refresh your connection, JR. That's fine. Well, anyway, I was asking those things because I think lots and lots of kids can do this. I think lots and lots of parents can support it. I think lots and lots of potential coaches can coach. If you're responsible, if you can have a heavy emphasis on safety, I think you can help the kids because you can shape what they're doing. And so don't say no to this, whether you're a parent, whether you're a competitor, or whether you're a potential coach. I don't know. I want to ask the kids some questions. Trevor, has that been your experience, or what did you think about this before you joined?
I thought it just seemed like kind of a fun sport to do. I'd go out there and shoot guns and just have fun.
Yeah. Okay, so what'd you start with?
I believe I started with a 20 gauge Remington 870.
Okay. All right, so something very manageable. Didn't break the bank. And what kind of success did you have with that?
I was all right with it until I grew out of it.
Okay. So when you grew out, I mean, what does grow out of it mean? You mean in terms of length of pull or what?
I just got too long in the arms and it was just too small for me.
Okay. I follow. All right. So that was, and what age was that, by the way?
That would have been my first year, so probably 13 or 14, I think.
Okay. All right.
That was a youth model. That's why I was a little short and he grew out of it pretty quick. But.
Yeah.
I understand. Well, listen, when we're talking about these things, the folks on the call tonight on this recording know some of those things, but there are a lot of people listening out here that don't. So when Trevor says he grew out of it, it wasn't because he moved beyond in terms of his pleasure or his shooting. He's saying he physically became a bigger guy and the gun didn't grow with him. So needed a slightly longer gun that fit better. So, and did you start shooting SASP then or not?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I started out with the Remington.
Okay. All right. I'll put
I think
that
it was
up on the screen.
his second year we started the SASP side of things.
Okay. So I'm going to share this screen here real quick for folks. And I'll add it to the stage now. So for the people listening, you won't see this. I will tell you it's called my SCTP. And that stands for Scholastic Clay Target Program. So that's mysctp.com. For the folks watching, you're seeing the website here. So this is where you can go to see the site itself, to learn about the prerequisites, to learn about the sport itself, the rules, the framework, places where you can find the results, the calendar, the nationals, the store to buy things, and to get the overview. And so they have a something very similar. I'll share that now for the SASP program, and it's mysasp.com, and SASP is Scholastic Action Shooting Program. So you'll see those things around. Those are the disciplines that are very common here in Iowa. There's a few others, but this is the overwhelming majority of what you're going to find at the Scholastic level. Let me see here. We'll get back to the faces and put it on there. So, Olivia, how long have you been doing this?
Since sixth grade, I think, 6th or 7th grade.
Wow. So you're a veteran.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, impressions before and after. Before you did this, what did you think about what you might be getting into? What were there stereotypes that you were considering, or what was going on?
There was a lot of boys, and it was at first I was like, my dad convinced me, and I was like, I don't know about this. Like, there's a whole bunch of boys. I'm not gonna be good. Like, I was scared, but like now, it's nothing. It's fine.
The boy thing's fine or the shooting's fine?
Everything. Just like there's a lot more girls getting into it than when I started, and it's really good.
It helps that she can outshoot a lot of the boys. So.
Yeah, that too.
Fantastic. It's funny that you say that. It was really interesting to me at one of the meets we went to. I think it was one of them where the SAS Club traveled down to Big Springs, and I think was that Montezuma that hosted that one. Coaches, am I right about that?
Yes.
Okay, so down there looking around, and it was really interesting to me to see boys, girls, young kids like 5th and 6th grade up through seniors in high school, all on the same team shooting together. And then when I was watching one of the local SAS competitions here at our home range, I noticed that the makeup of the team didn't even conform to what people might call a school club. There were kids there that were, excuse me, what? No, I'm wrong about that. It was my recollection of your banquet. Olivia and her folks were kind enough to invite everybody over to the place. They had a great day. I'm glad for the weather you scheduled, Olivia. It was great. Anyway, I was looking around. I was taking a slice of what was going on, and I saw homeschool kids there. I saw public school kids there. I saw families that were in hybrid school. I saw boys, girls, over all this range of ages. And then, like we were making jokes earlier with Trevor about Trev dogging going bark, bark when he goes down the hallway of school. Those are kinds of things stuck with me from seeing other sports that I have supported my daughter and friends, kids, or whatever else in, and to see this, it's such a group of people from different backgrounds going different directions, different ages, boys and girls together, all this stuff. I was super impressed with how well they supported one another and how they had grown to know and appreciate one another. And I've got this idea, that you're walking down the hallway high-fiving each other. I don't know if that's actually what's happening or not, but you should be doing that if you're not. So I was really, really impressed in the human aspect of what the club offers to the participants. So I don't know, has that been your reflection, Olivia? You've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, to be honest, I was scared of everyone at first because I was like little middle school me, like dad is my only friend. I don't know any of these people. I don't know what I'm doing. But now I'm like, it's senior year and I'm like really close with the whole team, and it's going to be hard to be done.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're telling me that you're going to reflect back on this as a high point in your school career, your school memories?
I'd say so, yeah. Mainly because of the people.
Fantastic. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you for sharing that. What else do we need to know about your journey, so to speak?
It's been long. I don't know. It's been hard at times. It was scary at times. Last year I was shooting off a stool because of a knee surgery, and that was hard, but I'm ready for this year.
Fantastic. Okay. All right, Caitlin, you're up. What impressions did you have before? I'm curious. What were your I'm looking in at this as an outsider. What did you see when you were going to come in?
Well, I honestly thought it was just a bunch of country kids shooting guns.
Well, it was. It was. What else?
I don't know. That was kind of it. I didn't really know much about it.
Well, what made you say yes?
Because Taylor told me to.
All right. So you had a buddy that was an influence. Just so you guys know, I don't remember whether it's JR or whether it's Billy. I don't think it was Brandon, but one of those two coaches said, "Hey, we're excited to have Caitlin on the join the team on the club." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I didn't even know that she joined. It wasn't something she told me. Now, I knew that she had considered it, and I thought that was pretty cool. We talked about it a little bit, but I know one of the coaches said, "Hey, we're glad to have her aboard." I came home to my wife, and I'm like, "Hey, were you aware that our daughter joined a shooting team?" She's like, "Oh yeah." Okay. Oh, maybe I want to know that. And I did want to know that because I assumed at some point she'd show up and say, like, "Hey, Dad, I need some guns." I'm like, "Okay, fine. We can do that." Okay, so now that you've got you're on the call tonight with some veterans, Caitlin. I mean, Olivia's done this for a number of years. Trevor's done it for a number of years. Brandon's come all the way through the program, and he's done this as a student and now a coach. And you've got 1 year under your belt. So what are your impressions now that you've gone through and done some of these things? I'm looking from you to answer the questions of the skills itself and also the human aspect of this. So what are your thoughts about that?
So I think that I realize now that it's so much more than just like a shooting team. I've made friends with like people that I probably never would have talked to before. And setting goals for yourself and then being able to like achieve them in shooting and then being able to set new goals and also achieving those are just really good.
All right. Well, speaking of goals, Brandon, I see that you're not sporting your glitter beard.
Oh no, that came out that night.
Okay. Tell us the story. People are going to want to know what that was. Tell us about that incentive program.
Well, I know we had some new girls come on, and we had Taylor, who's a veteran, for us. They were getting down on themselves at practice. Several I was at actually this year. They were wanting a way to wanting something to move them forward to getting better, and so I had previously heard Taylor and Caitlin talking about wanting somebody to do a glitter beard. They're actually trying to get Justin to do it as well at Trap. So I was like, screw it. I'll make a deal with them. And they didn't quite meet it, but I gave them some other expectations, and they surely surpassed that. And I held up my side of the deal. And I know everybody had fun with it.
So when did you sport this glitter beard based on their performance?
So the deal was if they shot 2.2 or under at a competition, each girl had to do it twice. No, 4 times, correct, Caitlin?
I think it was twice on 2 different stages.
Yeah, I think I said 4 times. One of the girls could only do it twice, but it had to be on different stages. It could be in the same shoot or a different shoot, but couldn't be on the same stage. And they hit that. Plus, we had she was a rookie. She wanted in on it, and she did quite well. Proud of her for her first year. So I included her on it, and they met the goal before state action, and we did it all at state action.
So, okay, so everybody understands what's happening here. The coaches, Brandon specifically, incentivize the kids on the SASP team, the action shooting team, for performance. And apparently they met the grade, which means he ended up sporting a glitter whatever in his beard. And he was ended up running around in a pink shirt that's advertised that fact. And he was sporting this all at the state meet. So you've got all these students there, these parents, these coaches at the DNR range for the state meet. And he's advertising, I lost a bet. So that's why I'm doing this, which I thought was a lot of fun. We got pictures of it. It was very, very cool. And I like that. I thought that was kind of a fun way to incentivize the performance. And they did it. I mean, when I'm watching some of these kids go up there and they're breaking 23 or 24, and every now and then they hit the golden mark of 25 out of 25. I mean, you can't help but cheer. And I'll tell you something. I noticed that when we went to various meets, seemed like our club and our students and our parents were cheering for the kids as much or more than anybody. So I'm kind of proud of that. That's a badge and honor for me. So thank you for the lesson and how to properly incentivize the youth, Brandon. JR, you got back online here. I'm glad to see you. What's been your impression of this whole thing? I mean, how did it start for you and where are you at now with it?
It started clear back in 2014 when the club first started. My daughter was a senior. And I've just been with the program, helping it grow ever since. There's been several rough years, just keeping it going, when Brandon was going through. And then 3-4 years ago, we started the SAS program. And that's been growing. There's not many teams for the pistol and rifle for Iowa. So hopefully we can keep that side of it growing. The trap side has roughly 4,000 or 5,000 shooters. The SAS only has, I could be off on the numbers here, but probably less than 500. So we really need to get that SAS program growing. And if that's our side that grows, great. If it's other teams that join, that's even better. But my whole thing with just seeing these kids grow, I've been with Olivia ever since she started, Trevor ever since he started, all these kids. Caitlin, her first year. We will take any kid that in between 6th and 12th. Of course, it would be better if we could get them younger at 6th grade versus year 10th, 11th, 12th grade. But we'll take them at any point that they want. And there's a lot of college programs. And Olivia, I hope you are looking into this. There's a lot of college and universities that are starting to help grow that program and pick up on both the trap side and the action side. Just watching the kids grow and get better is the best part.
Oh, I have no doubt. So you mentioned earlier that there were some rough years. I don't know if I know exactly what that means. So expound on that a little bit.
When 2017, 2018, Brandon was my only shooter for the trap set. So that's what I mean by rough. We lost a lot of participants. If you're new into the shooting, or if you're a veteran into the shooting, it can be, and it is a very expensive sport. So that's where we lose a lot of people, and hopefully we can get awareness of that and start having people help us with fundraising, and we can get a lot of that cost reduced, not eliminated, but at least reduced. So that way we can get more shooters out there.
Okay, so that's a good segue. So how is it you fund your club?
Right now we do a lot of sponsorships. We do have some fundraising that we do. The club pays for, this year, I think the club is going to pay for the shoots and the ammo for the competitions. Practices are still going to be on the athlete to provide. But I think for the competitions for both the trap and the action, the club is going to pay for this, and we always pay for state.
Okay. So what do you need in terms of equipment then?
It would, as for equipment, as long as on the trap side, the shooter needs to make sure they have a shotgun. That's approved. Either a vest or a shell bag to hold their empties. Eyes and ears, of course. And on the action side, Bill has been really good about providing the gun that the kids want to shoot. That's going to be probably getting a little bit tougher if we win, not if, but when we get our range up and going. Because we have a lot of athletes that shoot the same rifle. So hopefully we can get maybe more funding, and maybe we can get club guns that the kids can shoot, just to make it a little bit cheaper.
You know, it occurs to me, you may or may not have done this before, and I think that I'm right to say this. I think that there are Friends of NRA grants that are available that include the firearms. I think that you can apply for, they don't have, like, you can't just ask for anything, but they have a list of firearms that they will offer that you could apply for to see if they'll fund your club or send you those or whatever else. If you guys aren't doing that, you should seriously look into that. And for everybody out there listening, the Friends of NRA grants are something that everybody should be paying attention to. And I will give you a tip for filling out grants for Friends of NRA or anything that NRA offers like that. The more thoroughly you can fill out your grant paperwork and the more time and effort you can put into your grant application, which is not too strenuous. It's kind of Greek when you read it for the first time, but the more thoroughly you can do that, the better you're relaying over the information that you want these people to see when they make these decisions. So fill them out thoroughly. If you've got any questions, call somebody like me up, get a hold of your Friends of NRA contact and ask them, hey, I'm filling this thing out. You're my field representative here. I found you listed on NRA site. Can I have some help and walk me through this? They're going to help you. So you guys might look into that to see if you need club firearms, you might be able to get some.
We'll have to do that.
Okay. All right. Billy, do you have anything to add about the equipment? I know that you've been handling quite a little bit of it.
Yeah, I knew with getting the action side started, just about everybody's, most families got an old 22 in the closet. And you really can get started pretty cheap into the sport to just get rolling. But I knew some wouldn't, and then not too many people want to or even are capable of going out and buying firearms for their kid to just try something. So I knew to really have a team that kids can show up and participate in, it was worth it for me just to go ahead and get a few rifles, get them set up nice with some, nice triggers and whatnot, and so the kids can really show up and be competitive without, and to get started in it, before parents start, breaking the bank. And because that's, with my daughter Taylor, I was about $1,000 in before she decided this doesn't work for me. I bought a new youth shotgun and a bunch of ammo, and granted that's stuff I don't mind having around anyway, and I've let other, that same shotgun, several other kids have gotten started with it. Happy to always loan my gear to get kids started. But yeah, I just knew basically I wanted to put the word out that if your kid's interested, don't worry about having to fork up the money, come up with and handle firearms if the parents aren't gun people and possibly never even owned one. And just, basically we'll hook them up. We just need kids to show up and be willing. And it's been working so far.
So if somebody wants to try this or a parent and kids interested, with your club, it's probably not much different than any other club. We can't speak for all of them, of course. But are you saying that somebody could just say, hey, I want to come and take a few turns. I want to shoot a few rounds. I want to bang some steel. I mean, is it as simple as just reaching out and figuring out a time to come participate, or what?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If somebody has a kid that's interested, we'd be more than happy to have them come by a practice, watch the other kids do it, see what it's all about. And even, with parents' permission at that point, let them give it a try. And yeah, pretty much any that have went, yeah, that's fun. I want to do it. So.
Okay. Trevor, have you asked any of your friends to come participate in them, and have they done it?
I have, but none of them have followed through on it. A couple kids have been interested, but none of them really filled out anything to do so.
What about you, Olivia?
I've mentioned it, but no one's really joined.
So, Caitlin, have you done that also or not?
I've talked to people about it, but no one's ever really followed through with anything.
I think what we're seeing is a trend here. Probably we need to be asking more kids to come out and try it, number one. And number two, the coaches can weigh in on this. I'm curious of what you have to say, Brandon, now that you've been a participant and now a coach. If people come to the range and they try it, are they likely to enjoy it, or have you had anybody that's actually said, no, this isn't for me?
There have been a couple that have said, no, this is not what I like to do. They're like, well, I'm more of the pistol and rifle. I like to do the long distance, or I like to do like quick draw and pistols more. I was like, that's totally fine. When I went through, it was just the trap team. We didn't actually have the action side that we knew of quite yet. But then, yeah, there was a bunch of kids that came out that were my age, and they obviously, when we got a little bit older, they're like, well, I'm going to do another sport. They didn't know that they could dual sport and do both at the same time. But a lot of them were like, oh, heck yeah, this is really fun. I enjoyed it. But then we got later into high school or in high school in general, and we're like, well, we're not going to do it because we're doing this sport. But
people get busy.
Yep.
That's one of the things that I will give the Baxter Shooting Sports kudos on, is the flexibility of practice. I don't know if the trap side is doing this as much, but I know the action shooters are being told, hey, we're going to have practice on these dates. We want you to make 2 of the 3 or 2 of the 4 that we're offering, whatever else. And so I think that flexibility has helped a lot of students come out and participate. So I think you guys are really smart to do that. Let's see here. What was the other thing that I wanted to ask you about? Okay, so Caitlin, you talked about the impressions of a bunch of country kids. You know they're going to descend on you now and wallop you over that, right? You know they're going to be like, hey, you're living the country too, So anyway, don't forget that. Now that you've made it through your first year, your first season shooting, what's your reflection back on this? I mean, overall, what have you learned?
I think that overall it was really good. It was definitely not what I was expecting, and I'm just very happy that I joined.
Okay. All right. What about you, Olivia? You've done this for a number of years, so has your impression of these things changed?
Oh yeah, from the beginning to now, there's a lot of just common sense things, but also like knowing how to use a gun and stuff. Like that's just good to know for the rest of my life. And
okay, so you're speaking about confidence using the firearm itself?
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, so how does that confidence translate into daily life?
Because I'll probably get my concealed carry when I am old enough and carry myself. And when I have my own house, I know that I'll have guns in my house. And it's just good to know, because I've shot the action shooting and trap. So like, it's good to know how all types of guns work and just safety and like, yeah.
I agree. That's my wife years and years ago wasn't particularly, how should I say this? She wasn't comfortable with firearms. It wasn't anything that she really grew up around. And for that matter, there were a few that my folks had when I was a pup, but it was mostly my uncles and my grandma that went out hunting in Missouri, and we did that every year together. So it wasn't a heavy emphasis at my house. So when my wife basically said, well, I don't know what to do with all these guns that we've got. And I said, whether you like it or not, I said, I think you're going to need to learn how to handle them. And she's like, well, I don't really think I need to do that. And I said, what happens if I fall down the stairs carrying one to the safe and bunk my head or whatever, and it's laying there? I said, you're going to have to be able to pick it up safely and move it. You're going to have to be able to handle it in a safe fashion, whether you like it or not. So I said, I think that I'm obligated to show you, rifle, a shotgun, a pistol, revolver, whatever it may be, and how to at least safely handle these things. And that for her turned into the desire to shoot a few. And the fact of the matter is, she traditionally has been a very, very good shot. And so that's been confidence for her. And when you have confidence in what you're doing over something that requires a great deal of focus, a tremendous amount of responsibility, I think that that's very good for people's minds. I think it's very good for their souls to have a tremendous responsibility and accountability with what you're doing, and then to do it well because you're researched and you're practiced and and so then those ideas, those practices move beyond shooting and you use them in daily life. So I'm watching these kids, and I do call them kids because they are young adults, whatever else. But I'm watching them in these programs take examples of firearm handling, competition, building each other up rather than tearing each other down, all these things. And it's truly an amalgamation of what life lessons had ought to be. And I'm really, really pleased about it. And those are experiences that I'm glad that you guys have, because to be honest with you, I mean, JR, Billy, did you have that stuff when you were a pup? I mean, did they have it in high school?
No, they didn't. I learned to shoot going out with my dad, but yeah, the school didn't have anything when I went through. So,
JR?
Only thing we had was Isaac Walton League would do a national shoot every year, and 4-H. They had a little program, but I was never in 4-H to do that. But Isaac Walton League did. The DNR used to have what they used to call Iowa Youth Hunter Education Challenge. But I don't even know if they do that anymore. So, but no season for the shooting. Nothing like what it is now.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm watching these kids grow. I'm watching them learn. I'm watching them uptake good practices, best practices, if you will. And I'm tickled about it. So I think we're kind of nearing the end of the discussion that I was hoping to have. Are there things you guys have that you want to talk about that we haven't visited about? Billy?
oh, well, even a little on your last point of, kids having confidence, whatnot. One thing I see a lot is, things don't go well. They run into issues, have struggles. And to go from, early season or early in their shooting career, just getting upset, wanting to quit, to then learning how to think about what's going on, control emotions, problem solve, and then ultimately come out on top and succeed is, a great thing to see in the kids.
Agreed. Caitlin, what about you? Anything you'd like to add? Any thoughts that you want to share?
No.
No. That's the best you've got? No.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's go with you next, Brandon.
Ooh. The only thing I wish to see is getting more kids in. I mean, my thing is, I always like to go out to the Jasper County Gun Club and watch the older guys and learn from them.
Yeah.
That's where I learned the best, was just watching the older guys and then just going out there and shooting with them. I mean, there was a couple that they were just out there to do it by themselves and they didn't really want to help. But a lot of those guys are out there to see the youth come up and help them become better. And that's the one reason why I started helping my dad with the coaching and all that. Those guys helped me. Who's going to help the next generation when they pass? I felt like, well, I was helped, so the knowledge I got, I can pass on to the next guys.
It's a pretty good feeling to be able to give somebody a helping hand and it actually work. I mean, I'm not saying that you live vicariously through others, but I am saying is when you make an investment as a coach in a student athlete, and they improve, man, what a tremendous feeling. So I can understand why you'd want to do it, man. I really do.
It truly is. When I was going through, there was a couple of kids we got from Prairie City, Monroe. Their coach wasn't taking the youth guys quite as early as what we were. So they joined us, and I was able to help them get where they were starting off to where they went on. And one of the kids, he's a darn good shot nowadays. He learned out hunting. Well, some of the stuff out hunting isn't always proper, but he's still, to this day, he's a good shot, and he likes to go out and shoot guns with his stepdad, and he helps some of the kids on the PCM team. So
what do you have to say, JR? What did we skip, or what would you like to add that we haven't discussed?
Just try to get this video out there so the kid anywhere that can see this video, the kids know that there are programs out there. You just have to ask the right person, and we are on Facebook. It doesn't matter where you are. If you need help, you can always message us on Facebook. We got a couple parents that take care of that, and that message can always get back to me or to Bill, and we are always willing to help anybody that needs it, wants it. You just have to ask for it. So,
okay.
If whatever we can do to keep these kids out shooting and this sport growing, it's the best. Watching these kids grow, the hardest thing is when you have stubborn kids that don't like to listen, like the one sitting next to me. All dads will understand this. It is the hardest thing to coach is your own kid, because they don't listen.
you don't know what you're talking about.
Yep, exactly. And Bill, you can contest to that too.
I can.
Caitlin, do you always listen to your dad?
No.
Exactly. Olivia, I know. Yeah, you listen to your dad for the most part.
I listen to you, and then I listen to Dad, and then I pick and choose.
Yeah, but no, just trying to coach these kids, and that look that they give you, once it all clicks, the hardest thing it would be taking a kid that's a one-eyed shooter for the shotgun side and changing them to a two-eyed shooter. Just seeing that click, it's just amazing. And they're like, and it's almost like, well, dang, he does know what he's talking about. Or just that look that they give you. So, and that's one reason I keep going. I just keep doing it because I don't want to see the sport die, and I want to keep it growing. So,
okay. Trevor, what have we not touched on that you'd like to share?
I don't got anything extra to add.
All right. Is there anything that you think that people need to know that they don't know?
As long as you listen to the coaches, you should be all right.
Speak to the devil. Somebody showed up.
Oh, look.
Hi, Taylor.
Late to the party. Olivia, why don't you give us your parting thoughts? Is there anything that you'd like to share with us that we haven't talked about, or something you think the public or friends, family members, coaches need to know?
It's good for you, and you should try it. And if you do like it, enjoy it while it lasts, because I'm sad. I got one more season, and I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you're able to do it as long as you have, and you've got a year left, correct?
Yes.
All right. It isn't over yet. And like some of these guys have said, I talked with a gentleman the other day that said that he wants to get a club started at Iowa State, and he's trying to gauge how many people might be interested. And since a lot of these people come to me and are talking about it, I told him, I said, listen, I think there's probably more interest up there at the college than you think. And that may be the case on a lot of college campuses. I don't know, but you're never going to know unless you put something out and say, hey, do we want to start a club and see what happens? Taylor, it's nice to see that you made it on time.
I was at a dance thing and
Oh, yes, Dan. I don't know much about that. Although, Caitlin, as you know, I was voted king of cheer camp in 1990. So
You were. Grandma said that you didn't do that.
I think that your grandma's getting old enough; she's forgetting things, and I have manifested itself in my mind that I was voted cheer camp king. I don't have the tattoo yet, but I'm getting it. Cheer camp king.
Okay.
All right. Taylor, you're catching up here real quick. Why don't you give us the last word? Do you have anything that you want to share about the time that you've been shooting and how you would encourage others to participate?
I think that it does get a little frustrating, but once you start getting a hang of it, it becomes so fun, and it's just like a great environment to be around overall because there's so much support coming from everyone. And you would know that because Cheer King, like. But I think it's definitely a good environment to be around, and it's very positive and fun. And
Okay. All right. Okay, that's the stuff that I wanted to get down and cover. I didn't know that we'd have this much to talk about. I figured we might be done in just a few minutes, but we've been talking for over 45 now. So, but I'm really glad you guys, Baxter Shooting Sports, that you were willing to come on and talk, be guests on IFC's Warrior Wednesday. As you know, if you navigate to iowafc.org, you can watch all these that are listed on our blogs there. You'll find these on Facebook, out on YouTube, and certainly on X. And then while you're shopping down through there and moving through the site, by all means, check out our Trusted Partners tab. That's where the people who have invested in IFC and the members put all their products out there, discount codes, all those kinds of things that you can utilize. We always want to throw a shout out to those folks because they've made it very, very easy for people to participate and add a lot of value to IFC's membership. We encourage that. So I'll wrap this up here and we'll hit end. Everybody stay on afterwards, but wave goodbye and thank you, Baxter Shooting Sports, for coming on. Join their team and check them out. Like I said, you can find them on Facebook, and I'll get you any information you need if you messages.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.